Hi, everybody. Welcome to week 7. Um, from now on, you're going to be kind of taking off in your assignments, and we're going to be really focusing um, on your final essay. I'm not going to have any more short writes from you from now till the end of the term. The only short writes I'll accept late is your midterm because it's a double grade, and I would hope that those of you who didn't turn it in, there's only a few of you, um, will turn it in before I have to say I can't take anymore because I have to grade at I have to have enough time to grade. So you've done your outlines for those of you who have done it. Um, and if you haven't, please get it done quickly because you're behind. The outlines all I'm going to grade this week and it kind of gets you going. The next paper you're going to do is your first draft, and that will be due this Sunday. And what you really need to do is take your outline and turn that into prose. Simply just turn it into prose. Don't put any more into it than your topic sentences and then that paragraph. So you want to now change your evidence, whether you're direct quoting or you're paraphrasing. And please, if you're using somebody else's, the more references you have, the better. So if you're using someone else's idea, you want to put that in as a reference and not try to pretend it's your own idea because your own ideas aren't going to count until your conclusion. Okay? So that's really important. A lot of times we want to pretend like we already knew the information. Don't do that. If you're putting things in your essay that are do not have evidence except for your analysis, you need to find evidence to back that up or cut it from your paper right now. Okay, so Sunday is going to be your first draft. Don't worry about the language in this one. Just take your outline and turn it into prose. It can have mistakes. It can be not worded well. For that, I'm only going to be looking for your organizational structure and if it makes sense. And if that's the case, you're going to go on to your second draft, which will then try to wordsmith a little bit. That needs to get turned in. I will read them and then send them back to you with corrections, and you can correct it and then submit that. I would like to get these papers by the end of week 10 because there's an additional assignment that is your reflection. And the reflection in that you'll be writing at the end of week 10 and turning in before our finals will be simply about where you think you stand now. Well, it's all in the assignment. You're going to talk about what you've learned about writing, how far you've come, and then where you want to go. And then you're going to talk about, there was one other thing, and kind of where you are now in terms of um, the four objectives of this class, which I'll post before you have to do it. So there'll be a reflection and your final paper, and then the ones in between. Now, all of you are going to have to put in your final paper. You'll get extra points if you put in the ones in between, 10 points per week. And therefore, that will help your final grade. And then your final essay grade will be done. And of course, you have to put it into a different form for Fuse. Those instructions are online. And then do your reflection. And then you'll be done with the class. Hopefully, you'll find that your outline will cover most of the stuff that you usually sit down and say, oh, what am I going to write? Hopefully now the outline will cover that for you so you can just put it into a first draft. Just type it out in prose. Let me take a look at it. Okay. And then your final draft, which should be perfect. I'm assuming that there's going to be a second and then a final draft. So you'll do your first draft, you'll do your second draft, and then take that to the writing lab and get it proofread and fix it and turn it back into me. That's your second draft. And then if there are still corrections that I make, you'll need to do a third draft. And if there aren't, you won't. So we'll see what happens. And in week 10, there's going to be a lot of instructions. It's going to be about it's going to be how to start your e-portfolio, which this will be your first um, artifact that you're going to put in it. Your e-portfolio is simply a track of the work that you've done that you're proud of, that you've done at SOU, and that will become one of the elements you need to graduate, however many years it is from now. It could be 3. For some of you, it's just 1 year, but you need to get that work portfolio in. I'm not sure if that's going to replace the capstone or not, so I haven't been following that. But there'll be instructions to start your e-portfolio. I have to quickly check to make sure there aren't specific instructions. So that's it. You guys are almost done. You've done a very good job. There are some of you who are very outstanding students and have gotten stuff in and have taken my criticism for the last 7 weeks and improved your writing, and I appreciate that. I think that is very brave, because we all want to say we're a good writer because nobody's really sure what that means. And I don't have an answer for that. I have no idea what it means. But that's it for this. That's it for this week. So next Sunday evening, you'll turn in your first draft. And I hope you're not staying up really late to do these at the last minute. I hope you're getting them in. If you get them in early, that's a great thing. Then it's off your plate. Then we'll go for the second draft, and then the final draft, and your reflection, and your e-portfolio, and then I think we're done. Okay? So I will look forward to read your outlines this week, and I look forward to, I got to tell you about the midterms. I'm going to grade those kind of slowly, since it's kind of a culmination of all the stuff we did with our text, The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks midterm. That was kind of your final on that one, if you've interpreted it well. And I'm going to grade those slowly because they're a little bit longer, and there are other things that are going to come up that I have to do first. But before the end of the term, I'll get that back to you also. I hope you had great weekends and are looking forward to a wonderful week. It's going to be rainy, so watch out for that, and I will talk to you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.